You're listening to Sell the Damn Service, the podcast for service providers who want to scale sustainably, book out with high value clients, and make serious money without jumping on the 6 figures in 7 minutes hype train. Most of the advice out there is built for one-to-many offers, low-price digital products, and hustle-heavy marketing. But if you want to stay in the service industry and still grow big, the truth is you're not being spoken to until now. I'm Emylee Williams, an award-winning business owner who sold millions in the online space through both services and digital products. And after all of that, here's what I know for sure. Services are still the fastest, most sustainable path to consistent revenue. So if you're ready for yapping, hot takes, and straight up conversations about what it really takes to sell and scale your services, you're in the right place. Just gonna take a sip of my coffee and then we can get started here. All right. Holy moly. We're here for episode 0 of Sell the Damn Service. I am so excited to be able to bring you this show. I am thrilled beyond belief at the reception that this show has already gotten before we've even gotten to this point where you're getting to listen to this episode and hopefully all of the ones that are coming after this. I've been thinking about a show for a while, and those of you who know me know that I've co-hosted a show, a business marketing podcast for many years. Hundreds and hundreds of episodes and interviews. And I left that when I left my previous company in 2023. It was, people would ask me when I was kind of transitioning out of that, like, is there anything that you miss from that? What do you miss? And every single time the podcast was a thing that I missed. I missed verbally processing with y'all. It is my absolute favorite thing to do. And for a long time, I said, I miss it and I don't think it's going to come back. I don't think I will host my own show because I truly didn't think that I was capable of doing a solo show. I have been so used to being able to yap with someone else for every single episode that, quite frankly, I thought it was really awkward and really uncomfortable to imagine me talking into the mic by myself. And so, obviously, I got over that. I've worked through some things. I've gotten clarity on some things. And there has been a hill that I have said I will die on for years and years and years. And I think ultimately it came to the perfect time for me to finally talk about that in a space like a podcast and be able to process it and share behind the scenes and talk about like tips, tricks, and strategies, like all of that stuff. Yes. And truly come from a space where, because there are so few spaces that only serve one-on-one service providers. Now, I want to kind of talk a little bit about, in this episode specifically, who this show is for and why it matters. So, Sell the Damn Service for me is a space for one-on-one providers to be able to hear and listen to about strategies, lessons, takeaways, aha moments, gripes, everything in between from other service providers who are actively in the one-on-one space. This industry has shifted and it will continue to shift over the years. I've been in this space since 2011. So I've seen some things, right? And the thing that has held true, 2 things have held true in that time. One is that there are very few and far between resources for service providers who want to stay service providers. There's everything out there if you want to sell a low price digital offer, if you want to add on a membership, if you want to sell your company, if you want to hire a massive team and pull yourself out as the doer and the deliverer. There are so many things that talk about that. And that is perfect for people who are looking for those things. But what if you're someone who has a service and does the delivery and you actually like it? And you actually like your clients and your business and the structure of your company. And while you like it, you also know that there could be some optimization. There could be some structure. There could be some systems or some new ways of thinking and going about organizing your offers or your pricing or your selling or whatever it might be for you to reach your next goal, whether that's revenue-based or capacity-based, size of company, right? It's different for all of us. And instead of shifting into an entirely different business model, what do you do if you want to keep what you have and just refine it and make it better and improve it and bring it up to the level of service and delivery and profitability that you know that it can be? What then? And so I wanted to answer that question with this show. Now, the second thing that I know to be true, based on my decade plus of experience, is when you're seeking to scale, meaning you want to make more money without, in my opinion, without spending more time, right? I think at the end of the day, that's what scaling means to a lot of us, right? Um, if you want more money, you want your business to make you more money, and you don't want to put more time into it, the best lever to pull in order to make that happen is with services. The best lever to pull when you are starting over, starting fresh, is services. One-on-one services is what I have gone back to every single time I've been in an evolution, in a transition, starting something new. It's what I started on day one back in 2011. It's what I shifted to when my previous company needed a cash injection and we needed to right size the company. And it's what I eventually went out on my own again when I left that company. And I left with no audience, no community, no customers, and a very kind of like personal angled brand. Um, the first thing that I did was I figured out how to sell one-on-one services, and I ended up replacing my previous salary within 5 months. So it's the lever that I know is the right one to pull when you are needing and wanting cash, when you are needing and wanting stability, clarity, growth, all of it. There are obviously nuances behind, okay, but then how do you manage capacity? And then what do you offload first? Do you hire? What does productization mean? And what about pricing and selling? All of that is what's going to be covered in this show. Now, I also want to give you a kind of caveat to the structure of the show. I just want you to know what you're getting yourself into when you start to listen, especially to the interviews. So the cadence of what I'm hoping to provide on this show is a twice a week release schedule. Tuesday episodes are going to be just me. Those are going to be a little bit shorter and to the point. They're going to vary in length. I'm not entirely sure how long I'm going to yap by myself. I tend to get a little bit more to the point when it's just me. It's most likely going to be what I like to call lovingly, is that I'm yelling business strategy at you. It's one of my favorite things to do. Again, not for everyone, and that's fine. But Tuesdays, that's where you're going to find just a very specific, oh my gosh, this clicked for my client last week. I want to talk about it. I just tried this new thing in my service business. Here's how it went. I want to talk about it, right? You're going to get more like very current and timely thoughts. Now, on Thursdays, we're going to have an episode that's going to release with a guest. And this is another one-on-one service provider who is actively in this space talking about kind of a hot take that they might have in this industry and how it's related to the service world and the service industry, and either what they've done about that, what they've created because of that, or like quite literally just storytelling and conversations. What this podcast isn't is scripted, bulleted, 3 steps to scale sustainably type of episodes. Been there, done that. If that's the type of content you're looking for, there are 1,001 podcasts out there that can serve that, right? I am bringing back getting to know people with conversations and being able to pull out nuggets of information through storytelling. I want you to picture every single interview episode like you are sitting down. Maybe it's a cute coffee shop or hotel lobby or an Airbnb at a mastermind that you went to. And it's you and 2 other business owners, and we've got a glass of wine in our hand or a cup of coffee or a warm cup of tea. And we are shooting the shit about business. And where that conversation goes, no one knows. Because you say something and it sparks this idea or this question or this thought, and we're just going to let it unfold naturally. Now, every single guest that I do have on the show, just so you are aware, is brought on after we have a discussion about what is the angle that they actually want to talk about. Where is the conversation actually heading? And each one does have a point and does have a purpose, but I'm sharing with you the kind of conversational yapping structure that's going to happen because they're probably going to be longer episodes. I'm blocking off an hour and a half to interview my guest. Not all of that is going to be recorded, and not all of that is going to make it into the final cut of the show, but that's how much time that we could be yapping for. And so, in a time and space of catch your attention in 7 seconds, and what's the hook? And before you scroll away, I need to drop this piece of information so it blows your mind. That's not what this show is. This show, I hope, is going to assist you in slowing down and getting to know other people as business owners, as humans, and getting to really have some self-reflection and hopefully some deep thought about what you've got going on in your own business. And so that means that you listening are probably a contender for coming on this show yourself. And I would love to hear from you if you have a hot take that you want to share and you want to kind of cover your own experience in this space. So listen to a couple of episodes, understand the cadence, understand what's being asked, and really reflect on what is a different angle or thought or topic that you could bring to the conversation. And if you think that you can, then I would very much love for you to go to soldoutservices.com/interview and fill out a very short form to kind of tease your hot take. And if it makes sense for the show, then I'll reach out to get you scheduled. So I'm so excited that you're here. I cannot wait for you to dive in and listen to all of the episodes that are coming. And before we go, I would love, love, love for you to do me a quick favor. So this show is bootstrapped. I'm paying for everything. I'm doing the editing / I'm going to train my husband to do the editing of these shows. And I'm publishing and doing all of the things myself, right? And I love that. I would do it just because, and that's why I'm doing it, right? And a very low lift free way for you to support the show is for you to go right now and subscribe. If you have not subscribed, please just hit the check mark, hit the plus button. I don't know what it looks like. It's different on Spotify and Apple and all of the places, but subscribe on all of the platforms if you can. If you can go above and beyond and leave a rating and review, truly, it would mean the world to me. You do not understand how much that impacts the legitimacy of this show and the reach of this show. And we, just a small production over here. It's just me and my cat, who sometimes is going to be meowing, and my husband, who hopefully will edit these episodes. And that's it. And so if you can rate, review, subscribe, and then ultimately share the show with another service provider who, might like to listen, I would be immensely grateful. Now, we're also going to be streaming these shows or uploading them to YouTube. So you can head over to soldoutservices.com/YouTube and you can check out the channel. If you want to watch the show and have a little bit more visual component, every single one is recorded and will be uploaded over on YouTube. And so go subscribe to YouTube as well. That's also immensely helpful. I hope the show gets likes, and I hope that it, makes a dent in my business in really cool ways, and you have control over that. And so I would really appreciate if you took the time to do those couple of things. Like I said, it's free, it's low lift. It's going to take you like 30 seconds to go do it right now on your phone, and that would be immensely helpful. I am going to be posting up show notes from every episode on my website at soldoutservices.com/podcast. So you should be able to, browse episodes by episode number, guest name, title, all of that good stuff. And, if there's any links mentioned or resources, it's going to be linked up in all of those as well. So thank you so much for being here. We're going to dive into the rest of the content. And if you have any topics or ideas or suggestions that you want to be hearing about on the show, please reach out to me over on Instagram at Emylee Says. That's EMYLEESAYS. Thank you so much for listening to Sell the Damn Service. If you loved what you heard today, do me a quick favor. Hit subscribe, leave a rating, and drop a review. It seriously helps more service providers find the show, and it keeps me yapping into this mic every week. It's a nice, free, easy lift way for you to support the show. And hey, if you've got a friend who needs to hear this, please send this episode their way. The more people selling their damn services with confidence, the better this whole industry gets. See you next time.